Wild talk. Wild talk. Wild talk.
Hey everybody, welcome to the special episode of Wild Talk, especially because it's in English. And I'm with my former teammate, my main man, Francis G. Gallon. What's up, bro?
What's going on? What's going on, mate? How you doing?
Man, I'm good, perfect. Just trying to live the good life, even with that lockdown thing, even if it's finished. But now we have to focus on the after lockdown. So
Definitely.
it's not that easy, but we get through it. We get through it. How about you? How is everything for you there?
It's been cool. Just yeah, like you said, the lockdown and the virus and also everything going on with us as Black people in America and just everything connected. So it's a lot, but I mean, hey, as long as there's life, there's hope. So.
Exactly. That's
Mm.
exactly. So talk us about you. Like where you from originally? Where you
Mm.
born? What do you do?
Mm.
What position do you play?
Okay. So my name is Francis Kallon. I'm originally born in London, England. Grew up there, was raised there, and I moved to America when I was about 16. Just not for sports, just for family relocation. And then in the midst of that, started to play football and American football. And from that point on, ended up going to Georgia Tech, and then played a little bit in the NFL, and then also played in Europe too, in Germany. That's where I met Kevin, and we
Yeah,
became
yeah.
teammates. Yeah, man. So that's my story, just in a nutshell. Yeah, played defensive end and defensive tackle coming up too. So yes, sir.
Yeah, man. That's a big resume. That's a good one.
I appreciate it. I appreciate it. Thank you.
So talking about football, so you said that you started in England, in London,
No, I
but
started in America.
in America? Really?
Started in,
Damn.
yeah.
Okay.
I never played football in England.
Okay, I thought you played football in England. So tell us
No.
how did it happen? Like you moved in America, so in Georgia.
Yeah, I moved my junior year, which means I had 2 years before I graduated to go to
Okay.
college. And I played basketball. Basketball was my sport. Basketball is still my sport. But they decided as I was going through, they were like, "Hey, Francis, try this sport, try football. You're a big guy." I was about 6'4" at the time. I'm like
Yeah.
6'5", 6'6" now. 6'4", skinny, but I was quick. So I was like, "Yeah, try this sport." And I I was a bit apprehensive. My parents were definitely apprehensive about me trying the sports. They didn't want me to play football at all whatsoever.
Yeah.
But after going through some hurdles and my dad wanted me to make straight A's before I could even practice. I made the straight A's, and then I went to practice for the first time.
Okay.
And they kind of just taught me the fundamentals of the game in that week. They put me at defensive end, taught me how to swing move, how to all these little techniques and stuff to get to the
Yeah, I see.
quarterback. Um, and that following week was the spring game. And so we had the spring game, and that's like when you play offense versus defense of the team before the season. So we did that, and from that game, I was able to get 12 scholarship offers to different schools around the nation, from Georgia Tech, Florida State, Notre Dame, Stanford, um, Tennessee, Auburn, and then I played for the first time and did really well. And I just kept getting more scholarship offers, and I just kept moving up in the rankings. And basically, my first year became number 2 in the state of Georgia, and then number 19 in the nation. So
Are you
yeah,
position?
yeah, my position, yeah,
Man, goddamn. Okay,
yeah,
that's good. I didn't
yeah,
know that, man.
yeah.
That's good. So,
Yeah, it was crazy. It was wild. It
man,
was a
that's
wild
great.
time. Yeah,
Okay.
because I had all the news people come to my school, and come to my house to interview my parents, you know, ABC, New York Times, you know, all these different news people.
Yeah.
And Sports Illustrated. I was on Sports Illustrated too,
Okay.
just for everything going on. So it was definitely a blessing, definitely something I never take for granted, you know, and it's part of my story. So hey, it's
That's
who I
great.
am.
That's
Thank
awesome.
you, bro. Thank
So
you.
basically, do you think that you got all this attention because you were a European player, got into the state, would never play football before, and just end up being number 2 in the state of Georgia? Or you think it's because of your talent?
I think it was partly it was the fact that I came out of nowhere. But the main thing was I was pretty good. Like yeah, I was pretty. I mean, I say that just because that's reality, man. I mean, in like 3 games, I already had like 6 sacks.
Okay.
You know, 10. I think it was 10 or 12 TFLs, like 3 games. So that kind of it was like, and not only that, but the fact that I had a 3.8 GPA. So I was very very smart and very attractive to teams, because you know teams don't just want people that just know how to play sports. They want you to be able to be a student too. They want to know that you are very smart. You know, so that was one of the main things that I did that kind of put me above everyone else too. Not just the football, but the fact that I had smarts. I was studying. I had good grades. I got straight A's, and so all of those little things kind of combined to make the bigger picture. You know. So,
man, that's great, and that's good
Thank
that
you.
you have
Thank
your dad. Your parents who told you that you need to have good grades before you get
Definitely.
into whatever, because that's the one
Definitely.
thing that I don't say that most of the parents don't care about it, but I think that some parents and even some people don't put the student first, because
Definitely.
you're student athlete, so you're student before you're an athlete.
You're an athlete,
So that is very important. Okay,
Yeah.
so after that you got into Georgia Tech. So the first question is coming in mind. So why did you choose Georgia Tech, and what major did you get into it? Basically.
Honestly, I didn't really pick Georgia Tech. If it was up to me, I probably would have been at like Florida State or Alabama or Auburn. Really, I think it was between Auburn, Florida State. Alabama was cool. They wanted, you know, it was all right, but I really wanted to go to Auburn. But my parents were more concerned with the fact that it was only like my first or second year in the country.
Yeah.
And then immediately I'm going to go to another state where I don't know anyone. I'm not around people. You know, it was very quick. And also, you know, my parents, they are very studious people. I come from an academic household, and Georgia Tech is one of the smartest schools in the nation, one of the top ranking engineering schools in the nation.
True.
They actually call it the Harvard of the South, because in the whole Southeast, that's like the school. So, you know, they were thinking more like, okay, yes, you can make it to NFL, but we also want you to get your degree. So if the NFL doesn't work out, you're set for life because of that degree. And even today, when I tell people I went to Georgia Tech, they're like, "Oh, wow, Georgia Tech, like, that's a great school," you know. So that's that was their reasoning behind it. And you know, I come from an African household, so you know, when your parents, you know, they make a decision, and especially when your dad says something, it's like, hey, that's what you're doing. So yeah, so that's kind of how Georgia Tech came about. And then when I went to Georgia Tech, I majored in media and communications, because I'm very interested in the media aspect of life. And even going into sports, I knew in some way, shape, or form, I know after the sports is done, I want to be in the media world. So that was one of the majors that I picked, just to kind of pursue and follow up. So I wasn't just thinking about now, I was thinking about after football too when I picked that major. So.
Okay, man, that's great. And
Thank you, brother.
I'm even learning new stuff. I'm telling you, to be honest with you. To be honest, that's really great, because you know, I had a question about the mindset, but the way you're talking, I figured out that your parents already give you this mindset since a long time, even before you get into football. Like the fact that you have to work hard at school to be good, also good on the field.
Yeah,
and
just to
which means that
practice.
you can
Just
transcript the both.
right. Just to practice. My dad wouldn't let me practice unless I got straight A's that whole semester. Just practice. Not staying in the game. Just practice.
Just
So
practice. That's
yeah,
good.
yeah, yeah. So that was kind of the kind of background I grew up in.
Okay, that's great, man. So you got into Georgia Tech,
Hmm.
which is a big school. One of the famous players that we all know came out of there, I think, if I'm not mistaken, Calvin Johnson Jr.
Yep.
Yeah, he
Calvin
went out of there.
Johnson, Demarius Thomas.
Exactly, Demarius
Yeah.
Thomas. There's who's the guy
Hmm.
again?
We got our kicker, the kicker for the Kansas City Chiefs, Harrison Butker, is my teammate.
Yeah, really?
Hmm.
Okay,
Yeah, it's my
that's
teammate. We
dope.
played it. That's my boy.
Okay,
Yeah, you got Jeremiah Tachu. He's in I think he's with the Bears.
yeah,
And then you have Adam Gutsis. We came in together too. He's from Australia. He
okay.
plays for the Broncos right now too. So
Man, that's great.
yeah,
So you
yeah,
got into
man.
there. So what was your goal as not as a student, because as a student you have to graduate, but
Right.
as a player, what was your goal? Because that was your second year into football,
Yeah.
and then you get into a good program,
Hmm.
and now you have to either you back down a little bit, you try to learn from the others, or you just
Hmm.
get in there and say, look, I'm in here, I want to be the best, I want to be a starter, or you were
Hmm.
really chill and just patience.
Hmm. Hmm. So coming into Georgia Tech, man, I had to make up my mind because imagine you go from playing high school to playing Division I football, like just in a year. So I literally had to make up my mind that yes, I want to make it somewhere. I want to go. I want to take this as far as I can take it. And as a result, I had to stay in the study in the playbook. I had to study film. Had to meet with coaches because, like I was saying, everyone else they've been playing football for so many years, and so
Mhm.
they have like a database that they can refer back to, like say from when they were 12 or when they were, you know, 8 of like the different techniques, but everything that I was learning was brand new. And not only that, I had to learn it and then implement it immediately. So I had to work twice, maybe 3 times as hard as the next person beside me just to be on the same level or even better than the person that was either behind or in front of me. So that was one of the things that was one of the biggest challenges that I had to make sure that I was ready for, and I actually was able to accomplish while I was at Georgia Tech. So yeah, I mean there was no letting up. I'm here now, so
Yeah.
I might as well go all the way.
Okay.
You know, yeah.
And also, did you feel? So it means that you felt kind of the difference between uh, um like not a regular player, but a player who just know about football for 2 years, than the guy who started football for many years since the kid.
Definitely.
So which means that, do you think that they respect, because you kind of set the example for the European players who also go there, right? Even
Right.
some people doesn't know, but now they will know.
They
But
will know. Yeah.
do you think that they respect European players who could play football, or you just have to earn your respect, just like you have to earn respect in life?
Definitely, you definitely have to earn respect. You have to. I mean, yeah, you might have people be like, "Oh, wow, he's from Europe. Oh, he can do a little something." Okay, but they're not really gonna respect you until you prove it when it counts.
Yeah.
You know, because I mean, anyone can look at someone and be like, "Okay, yeah, he's cool," but if it's game time, like, what are you doing? Like, can we count on you? Can we depend on you? Are you someone that, and that's kind of the mentality you have to have. Like, and honestly, I wasn't really looking for people's respect when I came in because I came in as the #1 recruit for Georgia Tech, just
Mm-hmm.
off of everything that happened. So I already had I had so much pressure on me coming in that is at this point, it's like, I don't even care no more. I'm just here. I'm doing whatever I need to do and I'm not going to listen to the noise. I'm going to block out the noise, block out other people. And but when you look at me, when you see me, you're gonna see me working. You're gonna see me going hard. That's why, like in conditioning drills at Georgia Tech, I never ran with like the D lineman ever. Like
Yeah.
maybe probably one time when I first got it, but after a while, I started running with like linebackers. Started running with like DBs. With
Big
like
skills.
skills. Yeah, like I started
Mm-hmm.
running with those because my level, like I had to raise my level. I had to raise my mentality. I can't just be, a regular guy. So even in drills and everything like that, I would go really, really hard, and I would make sure that I know I'm learning the game, but what I can do is I can go hard. I can go 100. I can give 1,000%. So that's what I'm gonna do. And
Yeah.
so that was kind of how I approached everything. And then, as time went on, that's when people were like, dang, like, he can play, he can do this thing, or
Mm.
they have more respect for me, which again, it wasn't something I cared for, but I mean, it's always nice to know.
Yeah, true. That's kind of important as well because those guys were your teammates. You were spending a lot of time with them, so you kind of also have to, even if you don't care. I still think that maybe you still not need their approval, but need to know that I still respect you for your hard work, for
Yeah. I mean,
everything
it's
you
good.
have
It's
done.
always it's good to know. It's good
Mhm.
to know, but like at a certain point, as a man, when you know yourself and your greatest challenge is you, not the next person. You
Yep.
know, it just drives you to a different point to where it's like, I mean, you can respect me, you can respect me, but when it comes down to the game, when it comes down to when it counts, I'm gonna be there. Like I'm like you're gonna feel my presence. You're gonna feel me there. So, but like I said, yeah, it's definitely good to know, knowing that, yeah,
Mhm.
these are my guys. They can trust me. They can be around me, everything like that. But yeah, it wasn't everything to me. What my
Yeah,
main
yeah,
thing
yeah.
was learning the
That's
game,
that's what I
learning
was
the
saying.
game,
That's
being there.
just this aspect that
Mm-hmm.
your teammates respect you. Good. Now we can
Right.
move forward, and even just like you said, even if they don't, um, whatever. I was just going. You're
Yeah.
still gonna do you,
Right.
whether people doesn't like you or not, and
Right.
you're not gonna make all your life with them anyway.
Yeah. And you
So,
know what? I saw that in you too when we played together. Like you had that mentality too. Like you just like, hey, I don't
oh,
care. I'm
remember that game against Kallon? The
right.
Hurricane. There was Kallon and there was the Hurricanes at home.
Yeah. No,
That
yep.
guy, you said that bad word anyway. We're gonna come down to it. So in Georgia, did you finish all your years? So you have 4 years, right? In
Uh-huh.
college. Okay. So did you finish them before you got a shot at the NFL?
Yeah. I
Yeah.
graduated. Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that's good, man. So how was the process? Like,
Mm-hmm.
first of all, do you want it even to play in the NFL, or you just like say, I'm gonna take a shot to see if it's gonna work or not?
No, I definitely wanted to play in NFL, and I knew just off of my size and just what I'd done in college a little bit, like I would get a chance. Even if it's just a mini camp invite or whatever the case may be, like I knew
Yeah.
I'd get a chance. So I wanted to make sure when I did get the chance, I made it count. And so that, yeah, playing in the games, you see, and then also the years that go by and you see your teammates, they get drafted, and you see people that people that you played with, they go to league. It's like, oh yeah, I'm up next. Like, so
Yeah.
you have that drive. It motivates you, and yeah, it's something that unless because if it doesn't motivate you, then what are you doing it for? I mean,
Exactly.
yes, graduation, yes, get your degree, everything like that. That's important. That's huge.
Mm.
But on the side of it too, you're also there to play football. And if you don't have goals in that aspect of the game too, I mean, what are you doing it for? So.
True. That's true. So can you explain to us all the process after the college, before you
Hmm.
get even invited to the combine? So
Hmm.
how does it work? So you get your degree, and you
Hmm.
manage yourself to when it's done. You manage yourself to find an agent to help you through
Right.
all the stuff. So how does it?
Right. So agents can't really talk to you before you graduate.
Mm.
So as soon as I was before the season, really. So after the season was done, my senior year, there was a lot of like different agents like reaching out, like, hey, are you being represented, or hey, this, that. And so I didn't really know who to really trust, because I didn't. I
Mm.
mean, yeah, I could ask some guys that already had agents and stuff, but I really wanted it to come from someone that I knew and I trusted, and it was my trainer that I had from high school. He was good friends with a lot of agents and pro scouts, and he works for Dash Performances, so that's where I trained. That's also where I trained for the pro day. So I didn't go to the combine, but I had my pro day at Georgia Tech. And so what I did was I listened to him with the agent, and then I also he brought the agent to me. You know, we talked. He told me what he could do for me. He saw my highlights. He saw everything I was about, and he just let me know that he's in my corner, and he's gonna basically any contract that comes, he's gonna make sure he negotiates it to the best of my interest, not just for now, but also for when I'm done playing. So financially, all that other stuff. So he would like make sure that was taken care of. And then also, like I said, that same coach that got me hooked up with the agent, I trained in his facility throughout the whole build up up to the draft. So it was every day. Every day we were in there grinding, going crazy. And ladder drills, L drills, weights, everything. We had a whole meal plan that they would always they would make for us. That was probably one of the most focused and committed times of my life. There was no distractions, no females, no nothing, no barely any TV.
Yeah.
I mean, it was just that's all you did. All you thought was football, training. How can I get bigger? How can I get stronger? How can I get faster? And that was pretty much it. Those few, I think it was like a month or so. Of just straight training. Shredded up. I dropped weight to like 290 because I was like 305, 307 when I was done that season. But I dropped down to like 290, lean. I had like 16% body fat, like just cut. So yeah, and then that's when the pro day came around. I was about 290, 291. And my 40-yard dash, I ran a 4.8.
Okay.
And then on the L-cone drill?
Yeah.
The L-cone, I did it in like 7.1. So that already, they were like, what? Like, they were going crazy over that. Yeah, they were going crazy.
For someone of your weight, to be honest.
Yeah.
Like, I'm big, but you big. Like, I mean, you big.
Right.
Good big, so that's kind of fast.
Yeah, thank you. So yeah, did that, man. And it was cool. I got a lot of good feedback, spoke to different teams at the pro day, the Lions, Jets, Steelers, all these teams. And at that point, when the pro day was done, I was just waiting, you just wait until the draft day. Yeah. And then up until that point, that's when the Steelers called me, and they wanted to fly me up to their headquarters and everything like that. Just
so that was before the draft?
Before the draft, yeah.
Okay, got it.
So the Steelers called me, and they flew me up to Pittsburgh. I was there. I met all the coaches. I met Coach Tomlin. I met the special teams coach, the weight coach. They fed me. It was good. It was good. They just kind of showed me what it's like, being a Steeler. And it was a good vibe. So flew me back, and then I think a couple of more days it was the draft. So I went up probably a day or two when the draft went in, and then that's when I got the phone call from the Steelers. They were like, "Yeah, Francis," because what happened was they wanted to draft me. They wanted to draft 2 defensive ends, right?
Okay.
Me and another dude. But see, what they wanted to do was they either wanted to draft me and make the other guy a priority free agent. And a priority free agent means that we don't draft you, but we give you the money that you would have gotten if we drafted you, just because we want you, and or they would draft him and make me the priority free agent. So what they did was they ended up drafting him, and then they gave me the money that I would receive had I been drafted. Okay. So just I was priority. So I was coming in one of the highest signing bonus of the on drafted free agent. So that was dope, man. It was the whole process was stressful, but it was fun. I mean, you just kind of end of the day, you can only control what you can control.
Exactly.
So, yeah.
But the good thing is that you end up somewhere. So
Oh yeah, most definitely. Yeah. Yeah.
that's the positive side of it.
It was
Because
actually
finally
between the
people,
Steelers and the Vikings.
yeah. But that
hmm
so when you got to the Pittsburgh Steelers,
hmm
how did it go? How did it went? So how many did you went through? Did you went through the mini camp training
Yeah,
camp?
went through mini camp, rookie mini camp,
Yeah,
then went through OTAs, which is an official team activity when all the veterans come in and we all practice together. That was the first time I met Ben Roethlisberger for the first
yeah,
time.
big guy.
Big guy, and then AB and all those other guys at the time when they were there.
Yeah,
And yeah, man, I went through OTAs, then I went through mini camp, then training camp. So I went through the
okay.
whole thing. So I built a lot of relationships with the guys in at the Steelers. Actually, more than the teams I've been on. So
Yeah, true.
yeah, we
Okay,
still talk to this day.
man, that's nice. That's good. I
Yeah.
mean, regardless of everybody's fighting for the same thing. Everybody for inspire like a job, like some people fighting themselves to have a spot. I don't know in the company or
Right.
something like that. But
Right.
to be able, I mean, I think with football it's easier to build good relations with other people because you're
Mm-hmm.
fighting for the same thing, which is a spot,
Mm-hmm.
and
Mm-hmm.
you're playing the game for the same thing. First of all, because you love it, and second of it, because you want to be the best at it. Because
Definitely.
I don't see the point if you play just to play. I mean,
Right. Right.
there's no point. There's no point for me to that.
Yeah. Right.
But that's great that you kept a good relationship with them. So
Mm-hmm.
what happened after the preseason? So did you stay with the team and went to a practice squad, or you
So
been cut?
yeah, after the preseason, I got cut. That was like crazy. I was like, wait, what? Like,
Oh,
because everyone was surprised. Like everyone was like, what?
yeah.
Like kind of like, and then one of my teammates was like, yeah, like they were supposed to keep you. But I think what happened was the dude that they drafted before me, the dude I was telling you about, he got
Yeah.
injured.
Okay.
So they put him on injury reserve. So he was on the team regardless.
Oh,
That year. Right. Right. And so it was like,
and you have to make a choice.
they had to make a choice. So I was like,
Yeah.
man.
Man, that's
So yeah, but I mean that's just part of the game. That I mean, besides football, it's also a business. You have to remember that. And at the time, I didn't know that. I was just like, dang, like this, that. But it is what it is. And I went, of course, like everyone else that gets cut, especially that first time, like you go through like a series of like depression because you're like, man, what now? Like, what am I gonna do? Like what?
Yeah.
But I forgot, like I completely forgot, like yo, like you're new to this game, like you just started, like you made it this far, like why are you stressing? Like you have a degree, you went to one of the best schools in the nation, like you have so much, but when you're playing football for that hard and that long, it's like all you know is football. All you know is I have to make it. All you know, and you forget about everything else that defines you, as opposed to just the game, And so yes, I spent some while, and I was just like, what's going on? And then of course I got like a call from I got a call from Green Bay. I was in Green Bay's practice squad, and then and actually Green Bay, they wanted to move me to offensive tackle. And I had never played offensive tackle in my life. Ever. Ever.
So they tried to put you on OT, man. That's crazy.
Yeah, but of course that's because I hadn't played for that long, and so I think in their heads too, it was like that he doesn't have any bad habits that we can't teach, which makes sense. And so it was fun. It was cool. I was the left tackle. It was dope. And then after that, I ended up going to the Jets, and I was with the Jets for a while. 2018.
You went to the Jets?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I was with the Jets. Yeah, man, I was in the Jets. I was with the Jets. So I came in because what's his name? I forgot his name. I forgot his name. No. The defensive tackle that ended up getting traded to the Packers. Wilkerson, Muhammad Wilkerson. Yeah, Muhammad Wilkerson. So they were about to release him and they didn't want to pay him. Apparently, it was something about they didn't want to get hurt, because if he got hurt, they would have to pay him money. So they kind of sat him out and they released him. So I came in, as a kind of like a backup type thing for him. Did that, and then what happened? I ended up going to the Titans.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, so I was with the Titans, did that, and yeah, man, it was just a good journey, bro. At that point, I was just like, yeah, okay, cool, this is great. I'm doing it, make money, doing this, doing that. But then I was like, I also kind of want to see more of what this game has to offer, and so that's when I was like, you know what, let me try Germany.
Okay, so
and so
so how did you heard about GFL? Like, did you heard of it from people who are actually in the NFL, or you heard of it like through internet?
Actually, I had a lot of coaches reach out to me, because they knew I was from Europe.
But I think they did that because they heard that you were in Georgia Tech, you had a good year, and you also went to the NFL.
Yeah.
And basically,
Right.
you're also European, right?
Right. Yeah. So being British, that kind of helped. So they just kept telling me, we know about you. We've been following you for a long time. Just wanted to see if you wanted to come out here. And I never really paid it too much attention, just because I was just doing other things. But then I was like, you know what? Let me see. Let me actually look into this. So I looked into it. I researched. Looked at GFL as a whole. Looked at the whole Europe League actually. And I was very impressed. I was very impressed. Just the level of the game, that's very similar to how it's played in America, as far as the intensity and as far as the competition. Impressed me, man. So I was like, yeah, why not? Why not go to Europe? Like, I'm from Europe. Like, I'm European, so why not? And I was like, yeah, let me do that. So I decided to go to the GFL, and so I met you, the Potsdam Royals.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that we arrived probably kind of not at the same time, but when I got there, you wasn't there for too long, or you were there at the beginning of the season?
Yeah. You got there probably. Because we had, how many games have we played? Like maybe one or two games?
Probably 6 games, I think. 6, wait.
Oh, 6 games?
We played the Crocodiles after.
No. I'm saying, when you came, how many games have we played before that?
Oh, I think that you played probably 6 games or 7.
6 or 7? Okay.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. But then you came, man. We clicked it immediately, man, because you're my African brother. So it was cool. It was dope, man. It was very, very dope.
To be honest,
it was awesome.
I was a little bit, at that time when I got to the team, I was a little bit, I was like, I'm going to see how it goes, to see how the players are there. And after, I'm going to see if I'm going to be comfortable, because I didn't want to be in the situation that I was with the first team. And the first team, I have great teammates. I have some coaches who are good, who was great as hell too. But the direction, that was another discussion. That was a little bit different. But when I got there, I was like, man, I have to click with some guys. So you were one of the first that I clicked with first.
Yeah, most definitely.
I think that was because I recognized, first of it, your accent from England. I was like, okay, so that guy is from London. So I'm probably sure also he's from African background. So we could link up and, stick together with the other guys, that were getting out.
Definitely. Man.
Cal, man, who was that? Dustin, many other guys.
Dustin, man. Hey, we had a great time. That
was a great time. That was very fun.
That was a great time, bro.
Even with some coaches, to be honest, like that was fun too. That was very fun. The players, I think that if you had that team from the get-go, man, that would have been awesome.
Right.
I think that would have been very awesome.
It would have been lit.
Quarterback problem, but that's another discussion too as well. That was awesome time. So for you, what was the greatest, the best, like, souvenir that you have from that time in the GFL, actually?
I mean, it sounds cliche, but definitely the teammates, bro. I miss you guys a lot. I miss you, all you lot. It was just because it didn't matter like whether we had a winning season or whatever. We just all kind of stuck together and we all hung out, and everyone's from somewhere different. So I learned something different from different people. Get me?
Yeah,
So it's just it was more so the experiences from everyone's background, seeing like where they came from, how like their journey, you know what I'm saying? So it was just such a refreshing thing, because when you're in America, like all you know is American people, you know, and American people can only go so far because that all they know is America. All they know is what they see. You know what I'm saying?
I see.
But I got to meet so many different people from different backgrounds, different countries, different ways of life, different ways of living, and then we all come together for the same goal, which is to play together and win. Like that's you can't put money on that, man. That's huge. And then we all still like, look, we can do stuff like this now because of the connections we built on the field. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, man.
That's kind of true. Yeah, that's kind of true.
Yeah, but Germany was nice though.
That was hella nice. That was
Right.
hella nice. But like
Berlin, going to the clubs.
Zumba classes and everything.
Zumba class.
But to be honest, that was the first time that I did Zumba classes with you, and man,
Hey, you enjoyed it though.
I didn't thought that was this like physical. Like I was sweating from everywhere. You have to get fast, change the tempo. No, and I think for the footwork, to be honest, if I get into that like even earlier, I think my footwork would have been even better.
Oh yes. Oh yes.
Like, you change the pace, tempo, everything, switch direction, and everything. That was good. Even for the hips, you know.
Even for the hips, yeah.
It's very good. I'm probably sure people will laugh, but I think they know that's true as well.
Yeah, I still do it now. What?
Really?
I did Zumba yesterday.
Man, I think now I'm gonna get back into it to myself.
Got to, man. I'm telling you, it's good cardio because I do Zumba before I work out, so I know I get the cardio before, you know. So it's good.
So it changes, like instead of doing bikes or running, like you just go Zumba.
Just go Zumba and then work out. Yeah, because you remember when you did Zumba, you didn't feel tired. You felt like a little bit of energy. Like, so that's what it does.
That's
right.
True. And one of the best memories that I have was from that game against the Hurricanes. That game when that guy, after I blocked him several times, after I put him on his ass, he took that N-word out of his mouth. And I was like, what? And I remember that time when I was about to punch him, I saw the flags. There were two of them, one for me, one for him. And I remember Bill told me, come back to the huddle. I know you're upset, don't worry, but everybody heard what he said. So don't worry, we're going to get back to him anyway on the field. And I remember the coaches pulling me out of the game, wanted to understand what happened. And that's where, what I loved about it is that people wasn't angry against me, because the guys from the team saw me on the field and outside the field. Even during practice, I'm the kind of guy who joke all the time.
Definitely.
Not every time, but like when you see me upset, you're like, oh,
yeah, something really happened to get him upset.
Exactly, something really happened. So I remember the coaches asked me, okay, what happened? I told them like, okay, but put me back in the game, because I'm going to crush this guy during the whole game. I was about to do it, basically, but now it's going to be worse for him. And so basically that was a good memory for me, because that's why I saw that everybody came together in a situation where one of the teammates was in I'm not going to say injustice, but in a place that you don't want anybody to be in that place, basically. So the fact that we all came together like this, and everybody tried to calm me down a little bit, didn't make a joke about it, but tried to make me smile, make me think about something else, blah, blah, blah. So that was very awesome. And that was a great, great, great memory. That's and good. From that time. So,
man. Yeah, man.
Going
We
back
was
to
a good
the
team.
football questions, that was very awesome, man.
Yeah.
And to all the guys who are watching us right now, I'm letting you know, 2021, we have to link up somewhere in Europe and turn the fuck up.
Definitely.
I'm just saying that
Definitely.
we need
Definitely.
these guys, really. That was supposed to happen in 2020. I guess it won't happen because of what's happening right now. But 2021, Postdom Royals from the 2019 team, gotta have to link up.
Definitely.
No,
Definitely.
for real. So going back to the football questions.
For real. Hey, when I come to Paris though, I'm linking with you though.
Come
I'm
through.
chilling. I'm
Don't
chilling.
wait.
I'm chilling. I'm chilling
We're
in
gonna
Paris.
chill, go out a little bit. Oh man, you're gonna have a good time.
Man.
No, don't worry. I'll show you around.
Yeah, man. Comment ça va? Ça va très bien. Et toi? Come on, boy.
I see you trying to learn some French. Okay,
a little bit, you know, comme ci, comme ça. You know.
You know what's funny? Like, comme ci, comme ça, like, Americans people love to say that. Or even, like, you remember Bill when he would say baguette? Croissant. That things make me laugh because the accent, because they put the R, like, pretty loud.
Yeah.
That's what makes me laugh every time.
Definitely.
So, going back to football,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, staying still in football. So, did you know that if you went to the GFL, you could still have shots at the other leagues such as XFL, CFL, or even the NFL or international pathway?
So at first, I was like, yeah, that could be a possibility, but then like after a while, it's just like I just want to play. Like.
Yeah.
I could be, you know what I'm saying? Like, because I could have done the CFL thing, and I turned on the CFL at one point. I could do that, but it got to a point where I was just like, I just want to play. Like, I'm having fun. Like, I'm playing. I'm not playing because I need to. Hey, I need to play this game to get here. But I'm playing. Of course, it's gonna happen, but I'm playing because like I like these guys around me, and I want us to win. Yeah. So my mentality kind of shifted a little bit to where it was just like, oh, I'm just gonna come here just to kind of use the GFL as like a way to come, but and it became to where I'm like, nah, like I'm committed, like I'm here, like this is my new home, this is where I'm playing, and whatever happens in the future, it's out of my control. God is in control; He's gonna handle that. You know what I'm saying? But for right now, where I'm at, it's game by game, it's moment by moment. So it kind of it. Because everyone kept asking me, like, Franz, are you trying to go back to the NFL? Are you trying to go this? I'm just like, hey, man, I'm just here. Like, I'm here. This is where I'm at. This is what I'm doing. This is, you know, yes, I have goals. Yes, I have things I want to do. But this is the stage I'm at right now, and I need to perfect. I have so much to perfect here before I even think, okay, I'm gonna use this to get there. I'm gonna use that. You know what I'm saying? Like, the biggest thing that I wanted to emphasize was I didn't want to come in thinking, oh yeah, I'm the best, or I'm this, or I've done America, I've done NFL, I'm so like, nah, like teach me, like let me know, like maybe there's something in my game that you see that I probably haven't seen or no one else has seen, and you can actually help me get better, you know? Yeah. So that's kind of how I wanted to approach everything. So anyone kind of like bring up the NFL and stuff, I just kind of like, yeah, haha, cool. You know what I'm saying? I didn't want it to be a thing of like, oh, I'm better than you and you can't tell me anything because I played, you know, I don't like that. That's not my spirit, and that's not the kind of person I am. So that's why I really found it valuable being in the GFL, being in Europe and playing in Europe, because I learned so much about myself and about other people and how they live life, man. It was a blessing.
Man, that's great. That's awesome, because so many people, so many players, I mean, not that much, I think, but some of them think that when they come into Europe, like the level will be very, 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 very low. So they think that they're better than anybody, right? And the fact that you have this mindset,
right? Exactly.
That's you humble yourself to become better in winning, and that's what it's all about. Like, be better, winning games, winning championships. That's what we play for, because we love the game, we want to be the best, and we just want to win championships. And That's all. So speaking level wise, so what was your thought when you saw the level in Europe? So how was it? Did you think that it was kind of slower than the US? Do you thought that some players could have a shot actually in the US as well?
Yeah. So when I first started in the GFL, um, I was surprised because it actually reminded me a lot of like college, like lot of, like
Mm,
the fast pace of like like Division One football. So the drop off it wasn't that big. I mean, yeah, you have some players that don't really know how to play
yeah,
or they aren't as coached as you think, but then that's like probably like one or two, you know.
mm,
But the rest of everyone else, and because there's also people from different places that have played in different levels, the level is pretty good, especially when they started to like move their like defense, their offenses around me and like kind of like kind of like read how I play.
yeah.
I was like, wow, like they really switched how they play. I was like, okay,
So those
coming in
guys
like
can
they were coming in
adjust
with
as
double
well.
blocks and double teams. They can adjust as well. Like I remember that one time we played. Who were they? The Lions.
The
The
lines, yeah.
Lions. Yeah, they triple teamed me. I said,
What?
wait, what? Yeah, they had. So what they had is when I would play in the
Yeah.
four eye, they'd have the tackle and the guard come down, and then they'll have the tight end come down too. So
Oh,
all three of them would literally like wedge into me so that the running, yeah, man, it was crazy. It
damn.
was wild. And yeah, like a lot of teams kind of gamed their offense around me. According to like a lot of coaches, they would tell me afterwards, like, yeah, like we gamed around you. We made sure to try and block you and Dustin.
Yeah.
So because Dustin was behind me.
Yeah, that's a double
So
trouble as
yeah,
well.
right. Right.
Oh my
So
God.
yeah, man. Shout out to Dustin though. He's
Yeah,
a
Dustin
beast.
Mustache Man. I love his
Dustin's a
mustache,
beast.
man.
Yeah, and so
See his
seeing guys
mustache?
like Dustin, seeing guys like you, like the skill.
His mustache is very
I
nice,
see.
man.
Yeah, he's like, yeah, he needs to shave that. Hey man, I don't know. I like Dustin about the mustache. He needs to shave that.
Oh my God.
Nah, but shout out to him, man. He was a
Yeah.
beast, man. Him, guys like Dave Bill,
Mm,
Till Jansen, like Kyle, like all these guys, like the level is there, bro. Like, and a lot of these guys, all they need is an opportunity. If
yeah.
they could play, you guys, you lot can play in America and be better than a lot of the guys I've seen. And bro, there's guys in the NFL that I know that some of the guys I play with in Germany could beat out
Mm,
easily. It's just the opportunity. It's just having that exposure, having those eyes on the players, man. It's possible. Don't and one of the things I want to encourage is never think, oh, it's in America, so I don't think I'm that good. I don't think what? No. Like
yeah.
the only reason why certain guys get good is just because of coaching. You get the right coaching, if you know what I'm saying, you be beast. Like you had that mama mentality. Like you just going like, oh, I'm gonna be great and I'm gonna make sure I go 100%. Anything is possible. So there was a lot of guys, man, that I felt like could play at the next level.
Yeah.
Period.
True.
So
And that's
yeah,
big facts. That's big facts. And that's great.
yeah, man.
So nowadays, you got back into the state of Georgia. So are you so
Mm-hmm.
are you actually working, or
Yep.
what do you do for a living now?
So right now, remember I said I went to Georgia Tech for media and communications. So I said even when I was done with football, I wanted to be in the media world. So right now I work in advertising. So I place adverts and commercials on all the major networks like ESPN, CNN, BET, all the NFL games. I place commercials in the NFL games. I play. So
Okay.
it's crazy just how everything's kind of it's turned a full cycle. So now,
Yeah.
like I'm doing what I love and I'm enjoying it. And I mean, football is there. I mean, I did turn down a lot of offers to play to work this job, But this job is amazing. I mean, I'm watching TV and I'm seeing commercials and adverts on TV that I put, you know.
Yeah.
So it's like, wow, like what? So I mean, it's a blessing, man. It's definitely a blessing, and you know, I still every now and again I get that itch to play, but I
Yeah.
mean, if it gets bad, yeah, you
Yeah, you
guys know,
have,
I'll pull up. I'll come to Europe. You know, I'll play
yeah,
again.
no problem.
You know,
I see
it's
it.
never, yeah, it's never. It's because I love the game. You know, it's not
Mm.
like I need football to survive. It's like I love the game that much to where
Yeah.
if I decide, hey, I want to play, I want to go ahead and just sack the quarterback a few times. Yeah, I can do that.
I think that's something that people cannot really understand the love that we have for football, because you know, when we listen to what we said before, football brings us so many stuff, so many things, and I think only the people who were in football, whether regardless if you are a fan, player, coaches, would understand the love that we have for the game and the thing that is bringing to
Definitely.
us. And man, that's amazing. I mean, I wish you stay there and
Yeah,
still
man.
doing your thing with the commercials and everything. I mean, if you want to come back,
Thank you, bro.
there's no problem.
Yeah, you know, hey, anytime I come back for like 2-3 games, whatever team you're on, come back for 2-3 games, you know, take a 3-week vacation and just ball out.
That would be good. That would be fun, actually. That would be very nice.
Yeah, just come back, you know, maybe 3 games, 4 games, maybe 5 games.
Never
maybe
know.
the season, I don't know.
Half season.
I don't know.
We always start like this. So can you explain to us the life in the USA? What is the difference from when you're living in Europe and in the USA, socially speaking?
You mean currently or just like in general?
Currently, actually, you know, in general, we're going to talk about currently after.
In general, I mean, it's definitely different. I feel like in Europe, the way of life is much more smoother. It's much more easier. Like people aren't just living to work. They're just working. Like America, everyone's just working constantly. You know, working 40 hours a week, you know, just working, barely have time to spend time with your family, barely have time to do this, you know, and I feel like that takes a toll. That's why this whole COVID thing, in some ways it's been bad, but in some ways it's been really good, because it's allowed people here to really kind of like take a break and spend time with your family, spend time with the people that you love, make sure everyone's good, because you know, when you're working so hard, you're always busy and everything. I have to put in my appointment, I have to do this, I have to do that. You kind of lose that connectivity with the people that you love and the people around you. So that was, remember being not even in London, because London is a little busy too, but I mean it's still you know, still better. But even in Germany, like I would see people like midweek, Wednesday, 3:00 in the park with their family, you know, taking a break from work and having fun. And you know, maybe in the evening they don't stay till like 9 p.m. at night. They probably get off at like 6. They go to the bar, they go have fun, they go socialize. And so I like that a lot. I really did. I really enjoyed that very much. And it kind of, honestly, when I came back to America, it took me like 2 weeks to adjust from living in Germany. It took me 2 weeks to like really kind of remember, okay, wait, I live here. This is my house. Like I drive on the other side of, you know, it was just a whole different culture shock for me all over again. So, and that's how you know it's completely different, you know, in both good ways and bad ways. I mean, I feel like America definitely has a lot of opportunities though. A lot of opportunities that you wouldn't necessarily find in Europe, especially when it came to like London, because a lot of my friends, man, growing up in London, that we still close together, you know, they go to school, but then it's like you work service jobs, you work jobs where you have to serve someone else, or, you know, there is no like, it's really difficult to get into like a career. And America, like you can get into a career pretty easy. So that was one of the things I noticed. But I mean, they both have their pros and cons, but where would I want to live? Oh, Europe. Yes. like raise my children, like raise my kids, like yes, Europe, like London. I want to raise my kids in London, and then have property in America. We can go back and forth, you know, because the education system in Europe is amazing. It's amazing. You know, the healthcare system in Europe is amazing. Healthcare here is like hard, bro. Like you really have to, either you work a good job or you pay a pretty penny just to have basic healthcare.
Yeah.
You know, whereas in Germany we was getting free healthcare. You know what I'm saying? So it's like this. Yeah, there's like all these little things, man. It's like it has its pros and its cons.
Because I have one of my good friends. That's even the brother who used to play quarterback with me when I in my former team in France. One day I asked him about healthcare in the US. He told me, "Well, you're not gonna have a good healthcare unless you have a good job, and even if you have a good job, it's kind of hard to have good healthcare." And that's the thing that the US I like this country because of the culture because of the black culture from that country, right? And the thing is that when I think about how much people are working in 1 week, I'm like, nah, I can't do that. I can do that.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
That's over 40 hours per week.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Like America, because when I would come to America when I was younger,
yeah,
it was always like, wow, I'm in America. This is amazing. Oh my goodness. Yes. What? 50 Cent, this, that, you know. And then it's like when you live here, when you're not just coming for like a month or 2 months on holiday, when you actually live here and you actually have to work and you have to see how everything is like it's a complete change. It's like, oh wow, wait. Okay, I mean, it's still great. I can still go to Miami and this and that. Yes, it's great, but I have to work. Because if I don't work, I'm going to be homeless. There is no way around it. And so, I mean, just like everything, you have to work, but how hard you're working in America is one thing too. It's just like, wow, like you're really slaving away just to be able to make enough money to pay your rent or to pay this or to pay that or to pay for your healthcare. So, this it's definitely, it's one of those things where you can definitely tell the difference between Europe and America.
Yeah, definitely. That's a lot. So now speaking currently, so you live in the state of Georgia, in which city? In which city of Georgia?
I'm sorry, say that one more time, please.
Which city of Georgia are you living in? Can you hear me?
Oh, I'm in Atlanta.
Okay, so ATL, perfect. I was about to talk about it.
Yeah.
So what I like about Atlanta is, like, from the outside, from what I see in France, is that the black community over there is kind of strong, because you have in every category people building stuff to help the black community come together and stronger. And one of the things that, and that's why I like it, because it's kind of positive, because the white people understand that you're building your community so that you could live better. And that's what we can see, because you have a female mayor who's also a black woman. That's kind of good. One of the major leaders, tell me if I'm mistaken, T.I. There's Killer Mike, if I'm not mistaken, who is a comedian. You have more people. I'm not even talking about the others, like, that people know, just like, if I'm not mistaken, you have what's his name again? Shit. Is Migos? Migos, are they from Atlanta?
Migos. Yeah, Migos.
Also, you have people also, like, who from Atlanta, not from Atlanta, but representing Atlanta through, the character, how they react in real life and stuff, such as Julio Jones, for me, who is also kind of a good example.
Yeah, Julio Jones.
Maybe there's many people that
Todd Gurley,
Exactly.
Well, no, Todd Gurley, he's North Carolina.
No,
but he played in Georgia.
From Cali, I think, right?
No, he's from North Carolina.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
You have so many things that are built for your community. regardless about the last thing that happened, so talking about the police brutality was happening in the
Mhm.
USA and also pretty much in many countries around the world, because after the George
Yeah.
Floyd cases, there were a case 4 years ago in France from the case of Adama Traoré, who got killed
Mhm.
the same way as George Floyd got killed. And this case was still open, but now
Wow.
people get more together because of what happened in the USA. So people don't understand
Mhm.
why we're doing this parallel between the USA, even France, or even London, because I know in London there were also a lot of victims of
Mhm.
police brutality who died from it.
Mhm.
And people don't understand why we're doing this parallel because, I mean, me as a black man, I'm I'm tired to see other black people dying because of police brutality, regardless you're a woman, a man, transgender,
Exactly.
gay, lesbian, whatever. That's not supposed to
Exactly.
happen. And now the thing is that people need to
Mhm.
understand that the fight is bigger than you think because racism and police brutality is just a facade of the real problem.
Yeah.
Because like the
Yeah.
real problem is the system, and the system is
Yep.
build on what happened before. And that's why also
Built
when I
on
get
racism.
mad, exactly, and that's why I get
Mhm.
not mad, but I get angry when people say, why do you keep talking about the past? Because for us to move forward and better, we need to know what happened in the
You
past.
have to acknowledge it.
Exactly. And
Exactly.
people need to tell
Exactly.
the truth. So that's why I'm saying that
Yeah.
the problem is even bigger than that. Like the system, that's the thing that people are fighting because the injustice, the
Yeah.
the equality, the inequality. I mean, those things come from the system. And if people
Definitely.
understand everything that happened in the past, because basically, if the how do you say that? The oh man, I don't have the word in English, but the people went to Africa. Those people, if they didn't want
The
those
colonizers.
colonizers, okay, good. Oh, that's the same thing as in French, man.
Mhm.
Shame on me. if if those people didn't want the this war, so which means about our the land of Africa, we wouldn't be in this situation at first.
Mhm.
The history would have been
Definitely.
different. So now the fact that in the past they
Mhm.
did that and they won, so is that people may be going to be upset when I'm going to say that, but I mean, the winner tell the story, the loser don't say the story. That's basically what is happening
Right.
right now.
That's the truth. That's the
Exactly.
truth. Yeah.
And the question,
That's why in all the
yeah,
history books, they leave all that stuff out. All the stuff that they don't want people to know, they'll take it out. So in your school, you won't even know anything about your history because the winner gets to write where he wants to put it. So it's
exactly.
true.
It's true, and it's kind of sad, but it's
It's
the
sad.
reality.
Yeah.
And the thing is
Yeah.
that you have to face the reality to change things. Just like um, who said that again? Baldwin, James
Mm-hmm.
Baldwin said that,
Mm-hmm.
that you need to face the reality, the problem, so we could solve it. Because if you don't face it, you're never going to solve it. So that's why people
Exactly.
need also to educate themselves. Like, don't just put your thoughts on what you're learning at school. Put your thoughts on what also you can learn through. Many comedians also did it. Like
Mm-hmm.
Bishop Pryor also did that back in the days. Dave Chappelle did that.
Mm-hmm.
You could also learn from the movies, and there is so many movies like Roots,
Mm-hmm.
like Do the Right Thing with Spike Lee. Uh,
Yes.
like you also have 12 Years Slave, who kind of explain how was the situation back in the days, and sometimes you see this day, but it's just in another form of it.
In another form, yeah.
And
Institutionalized.
that's what people need to realize and need to understand. And even for me, if I get further than that, if we talk about
Mm-hmm.
America,
Mm-hmm.
such as for me, that would be a long process over there because after this, you also have to talk about other problems such as Thanksgiving because
Mm-hmm.
people know what Thanksgiving is all about, but the problem is that the system got so much into the mind of the people that the people sometimes doesn't even realize what is happening. Man,
Yeah.
even some people would not agree with what I'm saying. After that's just my opinion, But
Yeah.
now, so us as people, not just Black community, but as people, as human being, we need to educate
Mhm.
ourselves to learn what, why are we in this position today, and why are the Black community today are angry and are doing this protest all around the world. And that's the thing that I think it's amazing, because that's why I can see a glimpse of the light about this situation, because
Yeah.
it affects everybody around the world, even like in
Everyone.
Syria, like in countries where there's war. There, yeah, I
Yes.
don't know if you saw this. That was in Syria. They make with a piece of fragment of a wall. They did
Mhm.
paint George Floyd's face and say rest
Oh,
in peace.
for real?
Yeah, four guys, and
Wow.
that's crazy. And that's the thing that's why I say I think it's amazing. And now, like I told you before, people need to understand this is just a part of the fight of this war, because that's a war. And like one
Yes.
of my friends told me that there's many wars. There's, you have the war with guns and everything. You have the
Mhm.
cultural war. You have
Mhm.
the social war
Mhm.
also. So now, talking about the Black community, that's what happening right now is good. But like for me, I'm gonna ask you the question: what do you think we should do as a Black community for us to keep fighting this, and make understand people that we're fighting for us, but what we're saying is just not for us. It's also for the
It's not
every
for us. Yeah.
the other
Yeah.
people who have been victim for police brutality, people fighting for their rights, for that people be equal, and
Mhm.
the people killing other people need to go to jail, just like everybody.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, what do you think
Um.
for you as a Black community we can do to keep helping us each other and for us to become better? Yeah.
So you see how all these protests, right? This energy that we're giving out, this everyone's coming together, everyone's marching, everyone's making a statement. And you see how it shifted a lot of the things that weren't changed before. Like even in companies, businesses, even this Friday is Juneteenth, which
Yeah.
is that's the first that was the day that people African American people were freed. Well, really, it was actually the day that the last of the slaves were freed. And so now companies are recognizing that as a national holiday. It took years. It took all this time. It took one killing for everything to change. But it was the fact that everyone came together and brought their voices throughout the world. And so we see the changes. So I feel like we need to continue this. We need to continue to speak out and be vocal. Because the more quiet you are, the more, maybe it's gonna change, maybe it's gonna change. Yes, we can pray. Yes, God is in the midst, but we also have to do action. We have to continue to speak out, continue to bring to light these things that people don't want to face, that
Mhm.
the oppressors they don't want to see, because when they see it, it makes them uncomfortable.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah.
So we need to continue doing this, continue speaking out, continue to sign petitions, and most importantly, bro, we need to vote, especially here in America, because we need to make sure that the people that are in office, that are in the offices, are the people that are going to judge fairly, that are going to judge without racism in the background or without a bias.
Mhm.
So the mayors, like just like how we have a Black female mayor,
Mhm.
know who your mayor is. Vote for the mayors. Vote for the police chiefs. Look into that. Look
Yeah.
at who's your district of attorney. Look at the people who we put in power and actually speak out against it and actually vote. Actually go out and take action, because it's not going to change if we don't start ourselves.
Mm. That's true.
So
Mm.
yeah, those are the things that I know that can be very effective. We need to continue. This can't just be like a 2-week thing and all of a sudden everything goes back to
It's up.
normal.
Exactly.
And then it's like, no, we need to put
Mm.
pressure, man. We need to keep it up. This can't be just a phase.
Mm.
This needs to be a radical lifestyle change, a radical change of everything. Because
Yeah.
in order for us to address the past and address the issues that happened in the past, we need to continue to shed light on it. continue to use a flashlight, to use a magnifying glass, and actually focus on these things. And we can only do that if we continue to bring the same energy. We continue to protest. We continue to speak out on injustices, on these cases that they're closing without actually looking into the case. People being put in prison without, like, one white person can do the same crime as a black person, but then they get 6 months probation. But then because that black person is black, he's gonna get way more, 2 years, 3 years. Like, there was actually a post about it. There was an armed robbery. There was an armed robbery. One white guy, bro, did the same crime, the same day, the same judge, but he was white. He got what? He got like 6 months probation.
Yeah.
But the black guy, like 3-4 years in jail. The same crime, the same
crazy,
everything.
bro.
You know what I'm saying? And so you see these white privilege, and I like how white people are coming together and actually choosing not to be ignorant. They're actually opening their eyes and seeing, wow, yes, I actually have privilege in this world because of everything that happened, because of the slavery. So instead of using that privilege for my own self and disregarding the lives of everyone else, I'm actually going to use this privilege I have and speak out against it, and speak in favor of the people who don't have the same, benefits that I have because of my skin color. You know what I'm saying? Like, I love how everyone's, the people who are seeing it and are becoming our allies, they are actually, their voices carry weight. It's not just another black man. This is another white person, a person just like the oppressor, a person that has every right to, well, doesn't have a right actually, but that could just turn a blind eye. But they're actually speaking out against it. And so we need to continue to do this, man. We need to continue to speak out and continue to shine the light on the places that have been covered and have been in dark for too long.
That's true. And one of the main difference also with the US and France, when we talk about media, your media actually kind of talk about racism. That's the thing. But in France, like, when you talk about racism, it's just like you saying a big bad word and people were, nah, there's no racism.
Yeah, I noticed that. They're like, oh, no, no, forget about it. It's not even, no, you're thinking too deep, or you're thinking it too much. Shut up. It's real. It exists. Shut up. Whether you don't want to admit it or not, it exists. It is alive. It plays a factor in a lot of things. So yeah, those people, look,
that's a hard,
look,
I think it's kind of good that people talk about it. Also, people need to know that they don't need to get mad at people who doesn't talk about it. Why I say that? Because everybody have their own mind, can speak about whatever they want. If you're not happy with it, just move forward. It's just like you're walking in the forest. You see a big wall coming into you. You're not going to keep banging your head at it, right? So you're just going to turn, keep going, move forward. It's kind of like in football, when you have an obstacle, right? You're just going to be like, okay, so what I have to do to keep going, and just like focusing on the people who wants to change. Because if you do that, I think the people who doesn't think like that will probably, at some point, we have to describe this. How do you say that? When you put something in your mind, you just have kind of oh my God. You build something, like the system put a lot of thought in our minds, but now when we get older and we start to see real things, like some truth that we never talked to us about it. So you understand that way. So what they teach us before, that was the second part of the coin. Okay, so now I could make up my own mind and
right. But I feel like only a few, the ones that don't address it, only a few come to that realization.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Like not all of them do. And so if we say, oh yeah, we're just gonna let them come to realization, this thing is gonna continue for a long time, bro.
Oh yeah, true. That's
you
why
know what I'm saying.
You have to keep moving
and
forward.
it's like you don't say anything, but yet you benefit from our culture. You listen to our music, you're coming up off of our culture that inspires a lot of things that you do. But when it comes to actually speaking out, and not saying to go crazy, be radical, no, but actually analyzing wrong is wrong and right is right.
Exactly.
You keep quiet, nah, bro. That's just as bad as you. At that point, you might as well just be racist, bro, because you can't take. You're basically acting like the colonizers. You take. Yes, black culture. Yeah, we want to braid our hair like the black girls. We want to get a booty. We want to get this. We want to listen to rap. We want to listen to Gunna. We want to listen to Lil Baby. We want to listen to this. We want to listen to that. Yeah, the American lifestyle. Yeah, but then when it's our lives that are being talked about, you're silent. Nah, G.
That's
bro.
That's why I say that those people, if you talk to someone who's saying this to you, that's why I say keep moving forward and leave that to the side. That's what I was saying exactly. The fact that you see an obstacle, you're not going to stop in front of it and keep just keep moving forward. Do what you have to make the change with the people who wants to change, who want to do radical change. That's the thing. And also talk about the press. People need to understand that this is not just about black people, white people, Arabic people, Indian people, Asian people. It's also about social classes, because people need to understand that the people who are behind the presses are the one with the money, and the one with the money wants us to be divided so we could still buy whatever they want us to buy.
Exactly.
They want us to make believe whatever we want to believe. They want us to. So that's also one thing that people need to understand during this war. Like that's why I said that this war is not just now. There is more, because the press, and after you have the school system also, to what they keep bring us to us, because what we have in history books, regardless if it's the story of France, USA, Europe, whatever, they keep bringing up the same thing that our parents, uncle, the people who were older than us were learning at this time. But now we live like we're in 2020, and we need to put an update and starting to put the truth. Like, okay, I'm not okay with whatever those people did, such as Christopher Columbus. That's how you say it?
Christopher Columbus. Yeah.
Columbus, Napoleon, many other guys. They just say one side of the story, just say the second part of the story. So they build people that could use their brain and understand what was it about. Because of course, for those people, it was good to them what they did. But for the other people, well, that wasn't good at all, because there were several murders, many steals, so rapes, and many more. Like everybody know about that, So that's also, I think, that people really need to understand that, and that's good that that's why also I wanted to talk to you about it with you, because you know that you understand that racism is just a part of the facade, and there's more to that, and people need to know that this fight, we're probably never going to see the result of it. Even our children probably never going to see the result of it, but maybe our grandchildren, if we keep this fight going for many, many years until we have justice and we have the answer that we need to have being as people, and even as the Black community, I think that would be good, but that would be a long, hard fight.
Yeah, it's gonna be a long, hard fight, but we have to also understand the changes that's gonna happen along the way. That's gonna be positive too. That's one of the things, because it'd be one thing to just be fighting, but now like now that we're seeing that there's a lot of shifts, there's a lot of changes in how things are being done, how things are being approached. So it has to get worse before it gets good, but we're seeing that we're moving somewhere. we're moving somewhere. Just even if it's a little shift, it's a little move. Like where there's things that's changing, that's shifting. So that's why we just need to keep it up, man. Keep our voices heard. We have to keep
because that's for me, to be honest, like when I see some police officer joining the protest, that's good to see, I mean, for you, as in the US, obviously.
Definitely.
And that's the thing that we also kind of want to see here, so that we know that also some police officers know that what is happening is wrong, and that's the hard thing that for them to understand, because they just gonna be like, well, I mean, that's us. You're talking about us like this, but we're not like that. Okay, you're not like that. So where you at then? Like what you see? Like what you see at the table? What you see at the table?
Yeah, facts.
Regardless, like if where, no matter where you see at the table, we're still gonna continue this and this fight. And like you said, we also need to keep focusing on the positive that this is bringing. Like for me, the fact that all the world is against it and are sick of it. For me, that's
because before it always, even in Germany, I used to hear people talk about it and be like, yeah, that's an American thing. Like that's just in America. That's America. That's racism. Yeah, slavery. Yeah, it's just American, man. But now to see like everyone understands, like, no, it's bigger than just America. Like it's literally bigger than just this one place. It's everywhere. It's really good, because that really discouraged me. I remember in Germany, one of the teammates was just like, yeah, I mean, that's just an American thing. America's going through racism. That's Europe is different. Nah, bro, it exists everywhere.
Nothing is different. It's just a different form. That's why I say
different form. Yes.
We understand that this thing has been happening for a long, long goddamn time. But now today we arrive at some point now, that's there for a long time, but this shit needs to stop right now, because we don't want our generation to start to grow, our next generation to grow up in something that is hard to live. Like, I mean, that's hard. And the second thing as well is that seeing some political person who are now taking a stand, like I think that was the governor or the mayor from New York.
Blasio.
Even I'm gonna talk about her again. The mayor from ATL also.
Miss Keisha Bottoms.
Exactly, and the sheriff from Houston, who also were talking against of the protest people, and for me, even in France, like we have so much people who are becoming new icons, such as Assa Traoré, who was the sister of Adama Traoré. We have Rokhaya Diallo, who was also speaking a lot. We have many personalities who are starting to use their platform, to talk about it. Good. For me, that's a big thing, because that I always say that's a French thing. Like, people are never happy about the situation, even if you have positive. But I think that's a human thing. Like, the also is focusing on the bad thing instead of focusing of the
on
bringing. You know what
it's bringing exactly.
And like, if you bring all together what we said, and I don't say that's the absolutely truth, but I think, in my opinion, that if you understand the past, if you understand that the press is not, if you understand that this fight is not just about the color of a skin, that you understand that there's also about the elite people who are controlling everything that in this world. And if you understand all of that, and if you see the positive and keep fighting and building your own community, which is not a bad thing again.
That's a great thing. That's a great.
Like, giving a shot to the people who didn't have maybe the same shot as you, so that they better together and grow up together. And the best example for me is Akon. Because Akon was like shot at him during from the press, from whatever he did when he was a singer. And at some point, he was like, you know what? I'm going to take a step back from whatever is happening with my career. and I'm going to see what I can do now with the money that I have to build my community, which is from Senegal, help them become better. It started with the water pump, if I'm not mistaken, and now today is going to start to build a fucking city. Like,
yeah.
That's the thing that's what it's about, helping your community. Like that's how you have to see. And even Colin Kaepernick, that's the same thing. Like, people were always taking shot at him. Oh my God, he was disrespecting this, disrespecting that. But now people are seeing also as an icon now, because like, it was like, okay, I have all this money, but man, I see people from my community getting shot every day. I have to do something.
Do something, yeah.
Like, that guy was part of the elite, same as Akon, but those guys unbuild whatever the system put in their head so that they could help, so that they could fight. And the fact that people getting mad, and that's kind of true. When you make people upset from what you're doing, like, that means that you're doing something.
You're doing the right thing.
You're doing the right thing. So that's also the thing that, you know, us as people, we need also to understand. I mean, I'm not rich. I don't have a lot of money, but still, I don't want my people from my community getting hurt or getting killed. I don't want.
But you're gonna be rich. I'm speaking it over your life. You're gonna be rich. You're gonna be a rich man.
Thank you.
You're gonna be a very rich man, very wealthy, and you're gonna use your platform for positive reforms and change.
Thank you. And you know, that's also the thing that I try to do. I mean, try to speak up your ideas, make people understand that, you know, you could build something, you could do something with your life, help your community, give some message to whatever you're doing. And I think that that's why nowadays, you know, I'm starting to talk more about football, you know, so people could understand that through football, we are very different. Like, we don't have the same culture and everything, but still, like, we understand each other. We have the same goal. We are for equality. We don't like racism and everything. If you're about racism, you get the fuck out of here. Whatever you want. You know, we have also great example in history. You know, you just like Remember the Titans. That's also a great movie. We have Jackie Robinson, 42, who was the first black major league player, baseball player. You know, so and you see that I'm just talking about the USA, but for me, it speaks to me because that's something that talks to me. That's someone who's fighting for equality for people, even in sports, and this thing should reflect also in life. And when you when you do stuff like that, people they have to respect you at some point, because that's what happened kind of with Kaepernick. You know, like Goodell, that guy is just. I mean, for me, it makes me laugh because, you know, he was in at a certain position at some point, but now you understand that, man, that guy did something that actually was worth it. And now, you know, you have to respect him. And by respect, he's telling now the teams, okay, now you have to give a fair shot to this guy, regardless of what happened before. You see what I mean?
Yep.
Man, that's crazy. And the more you think about it, the more you know the work that's gonna come when you're gonna move forward. But you just have to keep, you know, fighting, do what you love to do, and try to, you know, put the message to whatever you're doing anyway. And even if you do that, it doesn't mean that you still don't have to enjoy life as well. You know,
that's true.
That's also one thing that people need to understand, because me as well, mentally it's hard, because you see more, you learn more things every day, and you know the truth hurts, like the truth hurts real. But after that, you still have to face it, and that's why Black community and people who wants to fight with us need to understand that. And we see the now, that's kind of good, but now we have to do more in that. And even for the Black women, like, you know, so that's something also that's very important. I see many things at the beginning saying police brutality kill but talking just about black men, but we don't talk about also the black women who got killed
That's true.
under the under the police brutality.
That's
And
true.
those black women now, you know, our moms, our aunts, our sisters, our friends,
Yeah.
they're the
Yeah.
ones who are going forward in first line, just like they say in the TV show Black as Fuck on Netflix. Like they were saying that black women are always the first in line because when the men, when some men were at war, they were the one fighting in the streets as well. And that's the thing that we need to knowledge, respect, understand, and keep fighting. Also fight for her because their fight is much, much, much harder than the black.
Exactly.
You know,
Yeah.
they are getting blocked by. I saw an article and I was talking to a friend of mine about it. I mean, she was educating me through it and she was telling me like, basically, black women are getting blocked by white women because, you know, also about the feminism, right? And black men are also sometimes blocking the black women because of the sexism. See, so us men, we need to understand that black men and every other man who wants to fight with us on that too. We need to understand.
Yes, that's very true. That's very true.
That's why I said
we need our women.
Exactly, and regardless if you are in a mixed race couple, whatever, I don't care. Like, if you need to understand that you can speak, but your life needs to be also about it. Just like one of the friend told me, your life needs also to be about it. So which means that your partner needs to understand also why you're fighting for this. And once you understand, she will fight with you, and the message will be even better and bigger. And yeah, man. I mean,
that's true. No, that's very true.
That's
wow.
That's kind of hard to say because
you're
realizing that you have been doing the wrong thing your whole life, you know. And if you're not, even if you're not agreeing with all the message that some people are saying, you need to understand the real problem. And as long as you understand it, even if you're not agreeing with it, if you understand it, you mean that you can understand what they're fighting for. So which means you can fight with them.
Right, exactly. You can. There's no excuse.
Exactly, no excuses. Like we have no excuses in 2020, bro. Like
no.
Everything, we have all the information that we want. We can have access to a lot of stuff. You can check everything that you want to. And not, like I said again, I'm gonna repeat myself. You just need to understand the real problem of it, and the problem is bigger than people think.
Yeah, yeah, man. This is a good discussion. I enjoyed that. Yeah. Yeah, man. Okay, Kevin.
Thank you, bro. So, but thanks again for agreeing to be here with me. That was,
of course.
That was very awesome.
Of course, you're my brother.
Brothers for life, bro. That's
yes, sir.
The bound of football. The bound
yes,
of Africa and everything is bigger than and most. I think the love. That's all about love. No, just like Stephen Jackson.
Yeah.
Love for those who have love for everybody. And,
right.
And that's real. And that's something that people need to understand. Have love for everybody, and everything will be better. It will be hard.
Yeah.
It will be better.
Yeah. It'll be better. Yeah.
Understand. So I hope that we could have another time to see.
Definitely.
Talk each other. We're gonna talk each other anyway. We talk.
Yeah, we will. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, we could definitely catch up, and we can see how each other's doing in life and everything like that, man, for sure.
Right,
For sure.
And for the people who are listening to Wild Talk for this special episode, because it was in English, we're gonna have more in English later, maybe. You can share this episode if you liked it. Follow me on Instagram, Spotify, YouTube, any platform that's gonna be showed at the end. And I wish that people will take the positive message to this, and we're gonna keep fighting together and not hoping, but keep fighting until we get results. Because
definitely
that's for us. That's for the kids, for the next generation that's coming too. So have a good day, bro.
All right, brother.
Talk to you soon.
I'll see you later. Have a good one, bro.
Yeah.
All right. Bye.